Hello everyone, it's Red Gadget here and I have a fun video for you. Today we have Gadgets. So it's my second place locals deck profile of the Gadget deck I played, Solidarity Gadgets. And yeah, so I have been playing this deck for a while now since I've already got my invite to the Worlds and I wanted to play some events like Patreon Battle Royales, but I didn't want to bring Blackwings. So you could see here, this was the recent tournament, 23 players. And I managed to get actually 7th or 8th place, so I share 7th place with Chai T. But as you can see, there was a lot of meta, a lot of good players with very, very good decks. And I've managed to get like top 8 basically in here with Gadgets. So I'm very proud of that. Of course, I didn't try that much. Like, I didn't try hard that much. I was more playing for fun. But yeah, I believe this deck is very underrated. And as you can see, I didn't even try that much and I managed to get 8th place. But yeah, so a lot of meta in here. I have, I don't remember what was my record really. But yeah, this deck that I played at locals and here, of course there was a change between the ones I played at locals and the one I played here. I've updated it since. But it was inspired by Cole, who got, I believe, top 16 in one of the either Arbets or Edison World Championship qualifiers. So shout out to him. I believe he's a very, very good gadget player, Machina Gadget player. And yeah, the list that I started with was the one he sent me from his run on one of the tournaments we played. I believe like I lost to him. I was on Blackwings, and then I asked him after the match, like, okay, could you please send me your list, like once you're done with the tournament. So yeah, very, very chill guy, and his list kind of combined with some Tex Eugene from that got 7th place in the Arbet LA. Some text he included, I included as well. His list is very, very strong, and he made a blog post which is linked in the video in the description about Machina Gadgets. So if you're interested in this, you can read up his blog post. It's very, very good, and yeah, shout out to him, shout out to both of them. But going back to the deck profile, so yeah, I decided again to play a Machina Gadgets. I believe this deck is 1.5, tier 1.5. I think it's severely, severely underrated. It got top 3 in Bologna, where I did the deck profile of the person who got top 3. And I don't believe many players actually play this deck. But the ones that do seem to perform very, very well. And okay, the analogy might be a bit weird, but I feel like this deck is kind of like, so you summon your monsters and you trade very favorably into your opponent because you're always +1 and you're always dealing damage, but they don't really want to waste their removal on you. So it's kind of like a kid fighting like an adult. Like, they trade very well into the adult because the adult can't like punch them back basically, because you cannot like punch a kid if you know what I mean. So it's like they cannot really like beating over Gadgets is like not really that strong because they just summon another one, they take not that much damage. And like going like Gadget smashing ground attack every turn, you just can't really do much. Like, you don't want to dimensional prison a Gadget. Like even Mirror Force sometimes it's just like a -1. So yeah, that's basically the premise of the deck. And then you play blowout cards like the Machinas, you play the Solidarity, you play all kinds of broken traps. So yeah, that's basically the idea, and I do believe it's really, really, really strong. It has a very good Blackwing matchup, although some would disagree, like with okay, they could Shura beat you over, but you play so much removal, and Blackwings are kind of weak to removal and traps, to like Blackwings getting bottomless. They make a synchro play, like you just smashing ground it. It has a very good value matchup, like attacking into Raikos and stuff. Like, so I believe this deck pairs well into the meta, and people often take it as a joke, kind of. So they just like, oh, I'm playing against Gadgets, it's gonna be a free win. When actually it's really, really hard sometimes. Like, this deck is better at dropping Fortress than like Machina Control or Machina Turbo. Like in Machina Control, you draw Fortress, it's a brick. But here, you can actually slap it on field for like not even going neg. But in Machina Control, you have to have like it plus a machine, and it's like a -1 to summon it. But here you just have a Gadget, summon Gadget, search, discard Gadget, special Fortress. So you just transform 2 cards in hand on 2 cards on field. And just drawing Fortress is not bad. Gear Frame makes it a lot stronger. So yeah, we could get into the deck profile now. Okay. So I played speaking of gadgets, I played nine gadgets. I believe that's the correct choice because you really sometimes you can draw three of them and it really sucks, but drawing two is not bad at all actually. Like drawing two, if you see your Machina engine, it's really strong because you could discard two for a fortress again, so it's like a monster reborn basically if you have two. Then we play three greens of course and three yellows. Now I'm trying to get my Turbo Pack gadget, so if someone wants to donate me Turbo Pack gadgets, I would be very happy. But yeah, they're kind of pricey, so we're gonna have to stick with these super rare ones from FIGA, I don't know. Yeah, so 9 gadgets, pretty straightforward. And then we go with the Machina package, which is this. So as I said, this deck is really, really strong at dropping fortress. Like opening, like having this and this, you just go like normal, search, discard special. So it's like you just have so much damage on board just by opening this and a gadget, and you play like 9 of these. And in Machina control, you just play like 3 of these, and then you hope to like mill the fortress so you could search a force. But like, I believe if you just want to play like Machine Turbo, this is better. Like this is straight up better. And summoning this, swinging into stuff, or like poking for 14, 12 every turn, it's really strong. Like often opponents, they just drop to like 4k out of nowhere, and you could just like sack them from that position. But yes, it's severely underrated. Like this deck, I think if more people picked it up, it would definitely see major success. Like, as I said, Bologna, I don't know how many people played it, but one person got very far. Arbet, we see top 8. But I think like maybe 2 or 3 people out of like 200 or 300 sign up actually play gadgets. So like I believe, now I'm not really sure, but I believe that the conversion rate of this deck is really strong. And the last card we have is just one Sidra. We play the second one in the side. It's really strong because you could go like normal, special, normal, swing, and then you fuse into your Chimera Tech. Or sometimes it's like a really good way to put a machine in grave, because like if you have this and Solidarity, like I'll find Solidarity. Yeah, here. So if you have this, like you would have to normal this, search yellow, it doesn't matter, search a gadget. Then you would have to keep this in hand, or like something, if you don't have this, another card. And then hope that this dies. So you can normal summon again and slap a Solidarity, because Solidarity you have to have a 1 type in graveyard, but like 0 doesn't count. So something needs to be in the graveyard. However, if you have this, you could go special, normal, search. Now you could swing. So yeah, apologies, my phone has actually died, so yeah. Anyway, as I was saying, if you have this, you can go special, normal, you can search a gadget, then you could fuse into your Chimera Tech. After you have went to battle phase, or just like this, and now you can drop your Solidarity, and now you have a 28 beater that cannot be contact fused with. And you have a gadget in hand, so you basically converted these 3 cards into now these 3 cards, and you didn't go minus. So having Cyber Dragon in deck is really strong, because you have a 28 beater that's like basically very hard for some decks to beat over, and you have Solidarity in play. Yeah, that being said, let's go on to the spells. So speaking of spells, we have triple Solidarity. This card is extremely strong. It makes your yellow gadgets 2000, makes your red gadgets 21, green 22, makes gear frame 26, and makes fortress 33. So like sometimes just gear frame fortress is really strong. Like summon gear frame, having a Stratos that's a 26 beater on summon is insane. And yes, they can play around this card. They could, like, once you attack, they can MST it, so you crash your monster, so you lose basically 2 cards for 1. But most of your cards just kind of float, and you already made your +1. But yeah, it can be uncomfortable with this. That's why we play some cards in the trap lineup, like for example Starlight Road, where you could protect this. And like unironically, this plus a gadget sometimes, of course not always, but sometimes it's like stronger than like Whirlwind Blackwing, because like Whirlwind Blackwing, you're always searching a lower monster, but here you're just like summoning 2000 beaters, of course vanillas, but yeah, every turn, and they're just like basically beating your opponent to death with them. So you have 3 of these. We have 3 of these. This is Smashing Ground. It's just Rush Duel. And by the way, this is not like tournament legal. It's just at my locals. It's pretty chill, but you cannot play this in like bigger tournaments. And yeah, it's pretty cool because you can like summon gadget smashing, and like you're basically trade 1 for 1, but your gadget's always plus. So that's the idea. And it's really strong because like often people at lower levels of play, they just do too much. They just summon like a early monster, hope to stop you, and like they do like synchro plays when they don't go for game. You just smashing it, get it out of the way, summon gadget beatdown, and they went like basically -1 into your smashing, while you made a +1 with the gadget, so you're +2 on the whole exchange, and you get to like deal direct damage. So that would be for the 3-offs, and then the last spells we run MST and Limiter. I won so many games with this. I think it's mandatory, and there's so many kill lines where you, like for example, like I explained, like you summon gadget, you drop gear frame, or you drop fortress, or you go gear frame fortress, or you have many lines. And summoning fortress in this deck is really strong and really easy. So Limiter on that like makes fortress like what? With solidarity makes it 66, and just normally makes it 5k. So any prior damage is just usually game. And MST to clear back row. We don't play heavy because we play a lot of back row, a lot of traps. So it's not really necessary, but I have missed it a few times, so that could be an addition to the deck. But we play so many traps that I feel like heavy might conflict a lot. And usually you don't fear much back row. You don't fear like bottomless trap holes that often, because all of your gadgets go under. Like battle traps, you can play correctly through them, like Mirror Force. You can often just pressure so much just with gadgets and solidarity that like once they Mirror Force, then you drop your fortress. And yeah, deep prisons are also bad, so we don't fear back row that much, so heavy might be a little bit too much. Then for the trap lineup, we play double bottomless, double horn. Now, horn is really strong. Like horn is a new addition to the deck, promoted by Eugene, but I don't know if he's the first one to come up with that. I assume. And it's really strong because yes, it converts your gadgets on field into a basically solemn judgment on summon. So the cards don't even touch the field. You just negate the summon. It negates any summon, and like for example, you go summon gadget, add another, miss swing or first turn, set this. You basically turn skip them, summon gadget, add another one. So so you essentially traded 2 cards for one of theirs, but you're still back at 0, and you turn skip them. And if you have multiple back rows, it can be really strong because you could, like for example, do this and MST, you pop the MST. If you have another card in hand like Gear Frame or Fortress, you drop that, deal a bunch of damage, set other back rows. So it's a really like a helps you switch. Like if you're going first, it helps you kind of maintain this momentum and like have your gadgets on field while they don't have no monsters. So for that, it's really strong. Yeah, so I'll move this here. So these are the gadgets that we don't need. And then for the other traps, we run 3 deep prisons. This is mandatory in gadgets because you again want to trade 1 for 1 and just summoning gadgets set this is pretty strong because they will try to beat over it one way or another. Just deep prison, swing again. So deep prison usually just means like if they have one monster, it just means another 1300 damage, for example. Plus, of course, you get rid of a threat, which in form of a monster. And the rest is just all one-offs. So for the pretty obvious ones, Mirror Force, I think it's just mandatory in any deck almost. But Torrential is really strong because you could summon Search and then flip Torrential, and you don't even you don't care about the monster on board. So that's really strong. Or you could summon Gearframe Torrential and then you can drop a Fortress for game or something. Play 1 Compulse, just because again we need this like 1 for 1 removal, and Compulse has been useful in compulsing the Gearframe. It's been useful in compulsing opponent synchros, but it's also been just very good for going for lethal because you don't care about them just going in -1 on your Compulse. You just bounce it, swing, and drop a limiter or something, and it's game. So yeah, if you push in some damage, Compulse can just mean game. And yeah, I think a pretty obvious one is also Dust Shoot. I think Dust Shoot's very strong and it should be played because you play a resource game, so you just want to knock out the threats. Main deck Dust. So we don't play the heavy, and I think main deck Dust is necessary here because we want to set a lot, we want to go wide, and we want to clear the back row so our Fortress can land. And then finally, another reason why we don't play the heavy is because we played this trio here. So this is to protect our back row and to just make sure we can pressure so much. So Starlight Road, since we go wide with gadgets, like every turn you will summon a gadget and you will have fields where you have 3 or 4 gadgets, or you'll have a gadget plus Gearframe dropping a Fortress. And Torrential, Mirror Force, all of that gets stopped by Road. Also, we play a lot of back row, so Road is great there. Same with Judgment, and same, honestly, with the Dark Bribe. And with that being said, this is basically the main deck. So we could move on to the extra deck. I'll put the red on top. Yeah, so speaking of the extra deck, we really don't have much on here. Like, I'll show you what I have here just for the memes. So I have some tokens. Then I have 2 of these. I think you need 2 because we have another Chimera Tech in the grave. So in the side. So if you have a Chimera Tech in the grave or a Sidra in the grave, you can drop another Chimera Tech. Then I just play this because, you know, I like my Blackwings. It's not necessary. Then I play like some 7s. I played a Giga Plant. I played Giga Vice. So I have these in. It's just super random. This is the only one you need, and you could play 2. But you could play 2 Stardust for the Road. But I mean, I have never seen that come up. I think the extra deck is really, really random because we don't play Brain Control, so we cannot steal tuners. We don't play any tuners. We have no way to really make synchro plays besides like getting a Stardust from Starlight Road. So one is enough. And speaking of the side deck, we have 1 Cyber Dragon. That's the only monster. An important thing to know is that we cannot have other monsters that are not machines in our side deck. So because we play Solidarity, like for example DD Crow would not be synergetic because you would discard it. It would turn off your Solidarity because you don't have only machines in the grave. So the only monster in this side deck is actually just Cyber Dragon. The rest is just spells and traps. So for the spells, I ran this, so 2 Lightning Vortex and Creature Swap. Normally people play Nobleman of Crossout, but I just don't like the card. Like, I find it dead all the time, and it's just kind of a religious thing for me where like I just don't want to play that card. I find it just to be very bad. And I think Creature Swap does a job kind of somewhat similar, because if they like T-set, you could summon Gadget and Creature Swap. Again, it's not really like, it depends. Creature Swap can be strong, but it doesn't do the job of Nobleman of Crossout very, very well. But it is somewhat of a substitute. And then Lightning Vortex is just really good because you get your +1 off a gadget, you can discard that card, and it's basically a Raigeki. And it's very good against some decks, which, like for example, frogs. If they set up a Duplock, it's very hard to get over. In fact, in my match against Frog Monarchs, I think we have passed turn like 10, 15 times because he had a Duplock set up and I didn't have an out. And at the end, I managed to outgrind and draw my 2 of my smashing grounds. But yeah, it can be pretty rough. Then for the other one-offs, in terms of traps, we have another Compulse for Synchro decks, another Dust for Blackwings or similar back row heavy decks, and then Transmigration Prophecy, which does the job of DD Crow. Again, it doesn't do it as well as Crow, but it's not a monster, so that's why we run it. And the rest is just kind of like floodgate terrorism. So we have like 2 masks, 2 light mirrors, 2 shadow mirrors, 2 light mirrors, and 2 oppressions. So this is kind of stolen from Cole. I believe he ran a side similar to this. Again, frogs, all the Vayu stuff, all the dark decks, Blackwings, whatever. But I don't even put this into Blackwings. I think naturally we have a good matchup with all the traps in the deck and all the +1s and smashings. This is really strong into Lightsworns and such decks. And this is again into special summon decks. I think it hurts them more than us, and we can play Solidarity Gadgets game while they cannot really sometimes, like Diva Hero or similar decks. Yeah, that would be it. So pretty much all traps and spells in the side, and only side draw for our second Chimera tech. With that being said, I hope you enjoyed this deck. I really encourage you to start playing it. It's pretty fun, and people underestimate it. So just like going to your locals and crushing it with such deck, it's pretty funny. Like yeah, I got second place. It's my dear friend Altin who got first place, so I'm very happy for him. I lost 2-0 to him in the finals. He played like a special summon heavy deck, like with Miracle Fusions and dandy stuff. Like it was a lot of stuff going on, kind of like a cooked brew of his own. So yeah, I lost to him 2-0. I really couldn't do much. But yeah, I'm very happy for him that he won the first place, and I'm very happy to show this deck on the channel and also to my friends at locals and on the Patreon Battle Royale. So in any case, I hope you enjoyed, and please like, comment, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace.